Let's move into some baseball situations. The Phillies salvage a game on Sunday with a play at the plate, and now into the Washington Nationals land, and they're actually favored tonight with Arrieta, which I'm perplexed about. Well, let's bring in the man who follows baseball like nobody other, no one else in this country, and he's all over what the Philly situation is. He's the great Hall of Fame writer for The Athletic, Jayson Stark, brought to us by DraftKings. Hello, Jayson.
What's happening, Mike?
Well, a new bullpen. I wake up one day and all of a sudden I got a new bullpen.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Nathan Hale and Haywood Workman in the bullpen right now.
And Alan Embry, right?
And Alan Embry, correct. Alan
Yeah.
Embry. No, it's Heath Embry, David Hale. Now, Tommy Hunter, Reggie McClain, Adam Morgan, Hector Neris, Blake Parker, JoJo Romero, and Brandon Workman, and a new guy. Vince Velasquez goes to the pen. Is that good or bad?
Vince?
Yes.
I've said this to you before. I don't think Vince is a starter. I haven't thought that for I don't know how long. I think to psychologically get himself geared up to do it, he would be a tremendous, multi-inning bullpen weapon. Not a lot of innings, but 5 outs, 7 outs. That would be the best version of Vince Velasquez I think you could possibly have. But he's never wanted to do it. So let's see.
All right. Otherwise, it was the same old troubles. They were losing leads. Now, it's a little more stable, but they got away with one on Sunday because Workman has not done the job so far.
All right. Well, let's look at the big picture first of all.
Mm-hmm.
To lose 5 straight games that you lead by 2+ runs, I'm sure it's happened. I can't remember it happening in Philadelphia. That crushes your team. There's an old adage that I heard from a GM one time: when your bullpen stinks, your team stinks.
Mm-hmm.
And that bullpen has absolutely been undoing all the good stuff that's happened this year. And it's why, my understanding is that the Phillies and Red Sox had been talking, but after what happened in that doubleheader against the Blue Jays a week ago, they just said, we need to make this deal now. And I like the idea of jumping the market in a season like this, making this trade with almost 2/3 of a season to go. I actually thought we'd see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of impact these guys actually will make, it'll be interesting to see. I just was talking to an assistant GM from another team in the National League, and he said, I like that trade. They both have ERAs under 8, so that's a start.
That's gallows humor. So first of all, let me ask you:
Right?
Do you like the acquisitions in light of what they had to give up?
Well, I actually do. It was time to move on from Nick Pivetta. They should have done that at the end of last year. He just needed a change of scenery. I don't know if he'll ever be more than what we've seen. And my sampling of people around the league, they like Connor Siebold, but he's a 4 or 5 type starter. And if you're going to save the season, this was the best I think you could possibly do given the time you were making the move. Look, Brandon Workman was awesome last season.
Mm-hmm.
He had the lowest opponent average in modern history for a guy who pitched 55 innings or more. His curve has been a mess this year, but he wasn't pitching at all because they were never ahead. He pitched 7 times in 4 weeks before he got traded. So he lost consistent feel for that curveball. I know the Red Sox people think he'll figure it out, but just incredible. His start as a Philly, right? Last September, he faced 42 hitters and gave up 3 hits. In 2 nights as a Philly, he pitched 2 1/3 innings and gave up 6 hits. Okay.
Yeah.
That's classic.
You're right. He has been struggling with the. He looks like he's got pretty good 12-6, but he lost the complete feel of it when he was trying to throw it the other night.
Yeah, he hasn't had that get me over curveball at all, and so he's never ahead. So the put away curveball doesn't help you if you're never ahead. And then Heath Embry, he was once a guy viewed as having closer type stuff. He never became that guy, but still 94, 95 with a track record in a bullpen full of guys with almost no track record. So I like that move, and I like making it early. But here's the thing. I think the most revealing part of it was they had the second worst record in the National League at the time they made the deal, and they were buying. It tells you everything about the urgency to win this season.
And it tells you about the instability of this division. Let me ask you about this now. Now that it looks like the bullpen is more stable, we don't know that for a fact yet, but now that it looks like it's more stable, can they get on a little bit of a roll here?
Well, I mean, their offense is good enough to win, right? Good enough to contend. They're still top 5 in the major leagues in runs per game. I think Joe Dillon's done a really good job with a lot of these guys. Rotation, I mean, like once you get past 2 pitchers, it's a little iffy, but that's almost every team. And I don't know how much of a role you have to get on. As bad as it's been, if you look at the standings, they're 1 game out of a playoff spot. 1. No, it's because nobody in the league has a winning record. 5 teams. But that just tells you all you need to know about what a free-for-all it is. There's no reason to give up with a team like this that's built to win. You just got to stabilize the parts of your team that badly need it.
Let's try to stabilize them right now because the lineup is not stable at second base or center field and third base. They look like they've stabilized it, and we'll get to whether that can last for the long haul or not. But what do they do now in center and at second base?
I mean, center field looks like mix and match for the most part. Second base is going to be a little mix and match for the most part, and that's just kind of the way the team was constructed. Defense is going to be an issue on this team. They're next to last in baseball in defensive runs saved, and they're below average at every position on the field except right field. And so you've got to live with that. I think it's become very clear that this team is going to go as far as its stars take them, right? The middle of the order is good. Andrew McCutchen's getting it together. The top 2 guys in the rotation are real good. Spencer Howard hasn't been that guy yet, but suppose he settles in like that. That's your formula to contend, I think. I don't think they're good enough in any other area, but it's a crazy year.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Bohm. Now, I like the way he swings it. He's loose and violent with the bat through the zone, and he's got good extension, but he looks like he has no instincts at third base. I listened to Alex Rodriguez on Sunday talking about Larry Boa and how Larry tutored him how to play the position. Now, I know they've got infield instructors. Do you believe what the Phillies are thinking now, that they're committed to teaching him that position, or that it's never going to happen and it might be another position for him?
Well, this has been an ongoing debate since the day they drafted him. I talked to a scout today who covers their system. He's seen him a lot. He said he's just overmatched at third base. His footwork is not good enough. His reactions are just so late on anything hit hard. So he thinks that Alex Bohm down the road is a first baseman or a DH. But let's think of the ramifications of that. They don't want to have a full-time DH. They need to use that spot so JT Realmuto's always in the lineup even when he doesn't catch. So McCutchen doesn't have to play the outfield 6-7 days a week. And then how's he going to be the long-term first baseman unless the current first baseman isn't here? So there's a lot to figure out. But offensively, he's been really good, man. More walks than strikeouts. You always like that. Mm-hmm. His hard hit percentage is 58%. Bryce Harper's only 43%. He's put 26 balls in play, 15 of them at 95 miles an hour or harder exit velocity. Like that's a centerpiece offensive player if that's what he is. So I said this to you last week. His bat is going to determine everything about his future, but his bat plays. Now the question is, where are you going to stick him on the field?
Well, they stuck Hollins on the field, didn't they? He was stiff. They made it work.
Yeah. They're going to let this play out. You've heard the manager talk a couple of times about this week, that they've had a weird schedule. They've had double headers, travel, rain. His frustration is that they haven't been able to get Alec Bohm on the field to work with him. I don't know if his footwork is ever going to be good. The question is, can he be good enough? If he's going to hit, you can live with average defense. I don't know that you can live with what we've seen so far.
How about a little ballet in the off season? Something like that. You've read where athletes have done that to get improved the footwork.
I'm in. Any good ballet studios
Well,
you can?
I'm sure that they can find one for him. I don't currently have a list, but
yeah, okay, that works for me.
All right, Jayson, Phil's our favorite tonight with Arrieta. What say you on this?
Well,
and Fetty's pitched well this year so far.
He doesn't strike out anybody.
Yeah,
right? He's got 4 strikeouts all year, right? So
yeah.
This says to me, bullpen game. Do we like the chances of the Phillies winning a bullpen game?
Well, it's refigured. Come on, you're not giving it any credit to take root.
It's true. I got to give you one more stat on their bullpen, right?
Yeah.
Mike Trout's career OPS, 1,000. OPS of all the hitters who have faced the Phillies bullpen this year, 999. How about that? It turned everybody in baseball into Mike Trout.
That's the old thing, though. Come on.
That's true.
This is all new. There's 5 new guys in there. All right.
Yeah, there's hope. I mean, there is hope. Like I do like the fact that they did what they did and they did it when they did it. There's no way those guys are not an upgrade, but I still think they'd better.
All right, we'll see what happens. Jayson, always a pleasure. We'll talk to you.
Great to talk to you, Mike. Thanks.
Jayson Stark, brought to us by DraftKings.
Mike Missanelli, afternoons from 2 to 6 on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.